What does it mean to be too hot? Today, I'm going to argue that this might be one of the world's most important questions, because its answer determines whether or not we can thrive in a hotter future. Each year we hear on the news, hottest year on record. Record-breaking heat in Canada. Record-breaking heat in January. Heat kills more people than all weather-related disasters combined. More than fires, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes. And cities around the world are scrambling to protect people from this emerging public health crisis. This is really important work. But it's also answering the question, what does it mean to be too hot? It means death. And the solution? Survival. Surviving heat like a hazard and avoiding exposure. But heat doesn't just claim lives, it rearranges how we live them. Imagine it's a hot day in October, and you have a full day ahead of yourself. You plan to walk your kids to school, and then you'll go to work. Later on, you want to take them to soccer practice, and you want to get a run in. So you pull out your cell phone, and you check the weather. It says 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 40% humidity, and a heat alert has been issued. Now, maybe you've seen billboards in your neighborhood or posts on social media saying, stay indoors and drink plenty of water. So you decide that you will drive to school today. You grab your things, you grab your kids, you grab your keys, and you head out the door. On the way out, your youngest one cries, "Ah, my jack-o'-lantern!" You look over and you see that the pumpkin that you so lovingly carved together over the weekend for Halloween has completely rotted in the heat. You dry her tears and then you head out to the car. And you drive to school. When you get there, you realize you weren't the only parent that had that good idea. There's a line of cars wrapped around the school. You nervously eye the clock because you have a very important meeting to get to, and you're cutting it close. When you get to work, you dart inside, a little sweaty, but grateful for the air conditioning. After work, you go pick your kids up from school, and you notice they're unusually boisterous. You ask them, "How was your day?" And they say, "It was great, Mom. We had rainy days scheduled because of the heat, and we got to watch TV for recess." Then you get a buzz on your phone. Soccer practice has been canceled. So you head home to the safety of the air conditioning inside, where you try to answer some emails and keep your kids from killing each other from all that pent-up energy. You, on the other hand, have a thyroid condition. And so when it's hot outside, you feel really tired. So you relent, you give them more screen time, and then you check your fitness app. 575 steps. Does this sound familiar? When it's hot outside, we rearrange our lives to seek refuge in the air conditioning indoors. Annoying? Sure. End of the world? No. This is the world we are creating when our answer to what does it mean to be too hot is death. But what if this is what it was like a third of the year? Half? All the time? What other activities in your life depend on outdoor conditions that aren't very hot? Over time, these minor inconveniences might start to degrade your quality of life. And as the planet warms, that quality of life is becoming a reality. Even more concerning are the families that don't have air conditioning or can't afford to use it. Or the people that work outdoors, or the kids that go to schools with no air conditioning or shade on the playground. Those families already have to make tough choices between food on the table and keeping their home cool, earning a paycheck or putting their health at risk. Those families, chronically hot conditions are already edging closer to unsafe and regularly degrade their quality of life. So, what does it mean to be too hot? Well, The current system's already answering that with death, and it's looking for some universal threshold to ensure survival. But too hot is not individual, not universal. It's individual. And it's not just about survival, it's about whether or not we can live our lives. The National Weather Service monitors temperature and humidity to determine the weather forecast. Then, hundreds of local weather stations around the United States determine which temperature and humidity thresholds threaten lives in the area. Sometimes they issue alerts, and sometimes those alerts lead to emergency services like opening cooling centers. This is the model that answers the question, what does it mean to be too hot with death? And it's the model that's delivering us one temperature threshold for all people, regardless of how heat threatens their bodies or lives. It's the model that gives us blunt instruments like stay indoors. But what if we answered that question differently? What if our goal was to live with heat rather than to survive it? Well, that answer comes from scientific advancements in how we address heat across 3 domains: your personal health, the places you spend time, and your physical activity. Those factors determine how hard your body is working to cool itself down. And that metabolic work, that's different for every person, in every place, in every activity. So, for instance, on that day that was 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 40% humidity, it was safe for a healthy adult to walk in the sun, run in the shade, but for an older adult, it was only okay to rest outdoors. And now we can measure that. Researchers are already testing how different bodies at different ages and with different health conditions respond to heat in real and simulated environments. And we have sensors that go way beyond your cell phone weather app, measuring how sun, wind, and nearby objects affect how you feel. And we're creating tools to design solutions that are metabolically significant, like shade, that actually change how your body responds to heat. The science is here. What's missing are the frameworks to connect it to how we govern heat and to tailor solutions to how you and I actually live our lives. It's sort of like on hot days, we're all navigating the world wearing foggy goggles. Our vision is blurry, so the solutions aren't clear. What would the world look like if we had clear vision? Let's go back to that hot day in October, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 40% humidity. Recall, you want to walk your kids to school, head to work. Later on, they have soccer practice, and you want to get a run in. So, you pull out your cell phone, but this time, you don't check a weather app, and you don't look for a heat alert. Instead, you pull out an app that's more like a personal guide, and it says, it's going to be hot today, but you're good to walk your kids to school and walk to work until about 10 or 11 in the morning. After that, given your thyroid condition, you probably shouldn't be outside more than an hour at a time. And if you have to, make sure to stick to the shade and monitor your heart rate. And if you want to go for that run, you can do it after 6 p.m. So, you grab your keys from the dining room table next to the jack-o'-lantern. See, you've been seeing a lot of memes about how it's too hot for pumpkins on Halloween this week, so you knew to bring it inside. And you walk your kids to school and you walk to work as planned. After work, you come pick them up and you ask how their day was. And they're really excited to tell you about this game they played at the garden at school. Outside. They had recess with the younger kids earlier in the morning. You let them know that soccer practice has been delayed, so you'll drop them off at 6, and you will take that run. This world isn't science fiction or fantasy. It's just a world that has answered the question, what does it mean to be too hot, differently? So, What does it mean to be too hot? It means you can't live your life. And the science is here to make sure that doesn't happen, not just for some bodies, but for everybody, everywhere, doing all the things that make life worth living. Thank you.